Saat Farkı'ndan merhabalar. Her hafta farklı ülkelerden, farklı milletlerden konuklarla bölgesel ve küresel gelişmelere dair farklı perspektiflere yer vermeye çalışıyoruz. Bu hafta dünyaca ünlü Suriyeli bir sanatçıyı ağırlıyoruz. Suriye'nin ilk opera sanatçısı Lubana Al Quntar. Kendisi uzun yıllardır Amerika'da yaşıyor. ABD ve Avrupa başta olmak üzere dünya genelinde sahne almaya da devam ediyor halen. Bir süre önce de Türkiye'ye, İstanbul'a geldi. Kendisiyle bu hafta Suriye'den Amerika'ya, Amerika'dan Türkiye'ye, İstanbul'a uzanan hikayesini, yolculuğunu konuşacağız. Müziği konuşacağız ve elbette ülkesini, Suriye'deki durumu konuşacağız. Welcome, hoş geldiniz.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. And أهلا وسهلا كمان.
أهلا بكم. Thank you very much for your time. Well, Ms. Lubana, you were born in Syria. Raised in a family of traditional singers, famous Syrian singer Amal Al-Atrash, known as Asmahan, and Farid Al-Atrash, of course, are your relatives. Could you tell us this, first of all, relationship between you and them, and how these legends of classical Arabic music had an impact on you?
Yes, of course, it has a big impact in my professional life. Personally and professionally. I mean, Asmahan and Farid is one of the most famous in the Arab world as a singers, for Farid as a composer as well. For me, I was raised during this. I mean, all the time as a family, we were listening to them, we were listening to their stories, and we are relatives from my mother side. They have the same grandfather, and I mean, since I was a child, they were, people were, when I sing, they say, you are you're like Asmahan, your voice is so similar to hers, and that made my choices in music life or in singing impact that very much, like the way that I choose my songs, the way who I'm listening to, all that, because my upraising was listening to her and Farid, and yeah, it made a lot of difference.
Do you remember yourself, like at which age you performed first?
Yeah, of
you
course.
Were singing?
Yeah, I started, I asked my mom, I was like 4 years old. She was singing. My mother has a very beautiful voice, and she was like singing in the kitchen, and I was like, Mom, I want to learn this song. And it was really a sad, very deep song. It was a difficult song, and she said, "No, I will teach you something else." No, I said this song, and it was from Asmahan.
Okay.
So yeah, I had I was in the kindergarten. The teachers were recording my singing,
Wow.
So I was like, I was always asking myself, how good my voice was at 4 years old, and the teacher was like recording that. That was amazing for me, to remember.
Yeah, Ms. Lubana, you are both a classical Arabic and Western opera singer. So I wonder, how did you decide to study Western opera? And because you combine different Western and Arabic techniques, how is the difference? How different are they? How would you compare Arabic classical singing and Western opera? Is it hard to combine both? And how do you draw from both cultures?
No, it's not hard to combine both if you mastered, each technique. I mean, for me, I started as to learn opera because I had this mentality that I want to learn whatever I choose to have in life. I have to study it. So my passion was singing, and I didn't want to start just as an entertainment, like singing. I don't know what I'm doing, or So I needed to study singing, and at the time in Syria there was no classical Arabic singing teachers, or there was no conservatoire to teach the proper Arabic singing. So they opened the opera department for the first time in Syria. So I was like the first one to attend that, because I needed to know how the voice works, how these opera singers they can go to that, achieve these high notes and this deep voice without microphones, how the voice is going to develop after training. So for me it was curiosity. It was something that I want to master, like I want to first, to know exactly what I'm doing, like how this is my instrument and this I have to know more about it. So the thing is that my voice was really developing very fast. My teacher was like, there was a Russian teacher at the time, and I was singing with the National Syrian Orchestra. I was like the second year of my study. Wow. Because I was so keen to develop and to combine the both Arabic singing and opera. It's really hard when you started as a student. The vocal cords are not ready to do both techniques, because opera has a different place in resonating the sound and the vowels and everything. And the Arabic, as Turkish singing, is from the throat and it's from the chest, and it's like it's in a different place. But they are connecting in like a breathing technique. They are connecting in how to use the vowels and the in your singing to make it better resonating. So yeah.
Wow, so you were the first opera singer in Syria. How was it to be the first at that time? How was the reaction from society? And of course later on I will ask you also, how do you see the opera today in general, in the Arab world, in the region?
Yeah, I remember my teacher, the Russian, her name Galina Khaldieva, and I thank her from this place so much, because she was the one who believed in me, and she felt like she is, by teaching me, like she is making history. She was telling me, Lubana, my first concert with the orchestra, she held my hand and she said, Lubana, today is like a historical day because no one did that before you, and I'm really proud of you. Until that moment, I wasn't really aware of that. I was like, oh, I'm happy to sing with the orchestra for the first time. And I was a little bit skeptical about singing in front of people, like Syrian people that I know that they don't know anything about singing. For them, it's like, they see it on TV and, somewhere else, but they don't. It was strange for them to see it live on stage by a Syrian singer. So few of them were laughing because they think it's like just shouting.
Still there are people who think that
exactly.
way. Yeah.
So I know. So I was singing and I was looking to the audience, and when I say, "Oh my God," but I knew that it's important. I believe in education. I believe in a cultural you have to know more about other culture, music culture, in any way. I was happy. I was proud. I was emotional. It was it's a beautiful thing to start to do something new and to open your eyes and other people's eyes about something really, really so beautiful in a music life.
Yeah, you made history. That's really quite something. Ms. Lubana, also, of course, I want to ask you, since you're a Syrian citizen, you must have suffered a lot, of course, in the last decade. You were there in Syria, I think, in the beginning when the revolution started first. So I want to ask you about your life before and after the war. What was it like when the revolution started in Syria as an artist? How was the environment? And when did you decide to leave the country?
Before the revolution, I was the head of the opera department and also the singing teacher for both opera and Arabic technique. For me, it was 10 years of working hard to achieve something for the student, for the whole, community and the whole country, like to, because most of the singers, they look up to me and they want to do something, with their voices, and so we were working hard to do that. I mean, with the student concerts, and it was difficult generally because, like as an artist, it's like, especially in our profession, like a classical, or you're depending on the Ministry of Culture, you're depending on other people to help you go somewhere, and so it wasn't like that. Like the environment was not so helpful in a way. So but we were trying. I mean, as individuals, we were trying to do our best. When the revolution started, personally, I couldn't teach anymore. I stopped teaching because I couldn't do it while people were like dying on the streets. I felt like, I thought, this is mad. I cannot teach singing while people are dying. So I stopped, and I was invited at the time, like it was 2011, the end of 2011. I was like invited to be in the American Film Festival, and I decided to go to just have a relaxing time. I just needed some air to speak. I needed some a space. And then, the thing escalated, and it was dangerous for me to come back. So for me, it was a bit heartbreaking, because we were planning to do more in this country. It was like, and we were seeing the destruction and all of that, the dying, like the death everywhere, like every day. Yeah. So it was really.
So you went to the US and you decided to stay there. Ms. Lubana, then I want to ask you, because maybe music has no boundaries, but unfortunately people have boundaries, and there is this anti-refugee sentiment all over the world. There's this toxic debate about refugees in general, and about Syrian refugees in particular. So what kind of challenges you faced in the US in particular? How was it to be a refugee artist in the US?
Well, it's in the US there is this mentality of, because everybody is coming from other country. America, the foundation of America is based on having people from abroad. So, but there's still, of course, there's still people who doesn't want like foreigners. This is this racist remark. It's not just for refugees. It's like for women, for Black people, for For me, it wasn't like that, because I was the people that I've met. They were trying really to help as much as they can by doing fundraising, and we felt like there is a welcoming community. So in general, it was a good experience as a refugee there. Yeah. So
you did not really face any trouble or any major challenge then?
No, there
in
was.
In the West in particular?
No, in the West, I mean, it's the opposite. There's like a refugee orchestra I was working with. It was based on refugees from all over the world. I felt like there's a lot of people from, even from Russia, from, I was amazed, like all this has their own problems in their countries, and we've met here to do something with the music, yeah, I felt I'm obliged to, by my concerts, by my being there to help people in United States to understand what's going on in Syria, like to show also a different angle of the situation. Like there is people from Syria who has, they are artists, because the media is so dangerous. The media will, they take sides and they manipulate the situation and they, for interest of other.
Yeah.
So,
if I may ask, why did you leave the U.S. now, and what made you, what brought you to Turkey?
Well, brought me to Turkey like the, of course, living in America for 12 years. It's good because I felt safe, I felt welcomed, I felt I belong, but still I feel like I'm very far away from my home country, from Syria. And in the back of my mind, there's a funny story I want to share with you about, me loving Turkey even before I came here. So I always hear my mother speaking about Turkey, the beauty of Istanbul, and how she enjoyed this 1 week before she meet my father for her wedding in Vienna. She came here from Halab to Vienna, but then she stopped. She met a model, and this model, she was begging her, let's stay here in Istanbul for 1 week, and we will go like beautiful places. And my mother agreed and kept my father waiting for a week every day to have her there. And in the back of my mind, I still hear her voice, saying like how beautiful and how enjoyable time, like the most beautiful week she had ever had here. So I love Istanbul. And she was also speaking about the music and the cultural, life in Istanbul. So since my childhood, I fell in love with this country even before I see it. So what brought me here is this passion and this magic of Istanbul, and also to feel close to my home country.
What do you think about Turkish music, by the way, since we mentioned Turkey and Turkish music?
I love it.
How is your impression, or what do you think about in general? Like, are you following Turkish singers? Are you listening to them? What's your favorite singer, song?
Yeah, I mean,
and could you sing a song for us in the end? By the
yes,
way?
sure. There is, of course, I love Turkish music. Since I was a child, as I told you, we were like listening to Turkish songs like since we were young. I love it, and I always thought that there has to be something that we could do with Arabic music and Turkish music together. So like 3-4 years ago, I was thinking like, I have to, to sing like Arabic songs with Turkish songs, like combining those together, because we have similar maqams, we have similar, even some songs you feel like it's because of the closeness of the two countries and the mix. So I love it, and I'm very excited about doing something with Turkish songs and Arabic songs together.
Hopefully we will watch you in the stage soon in Istanbul.
Yes,
and
yes.
Please, could you sing a song, very short one for us? And if you do that, I will appreciate it. Otherwise, it's okay.
Bülbülüm altın kafeste, aman bülbülüm altın kafeste, aman öter aheste, aheste. Ötme bülbül yarin hasta, aman ötme bülbül yarin Hasret kaldım sevdiğime. Ben sana aldanamam yarim, ben sana dayanamam. Ben sana aldanamam yarim, ben de sana dayanamam.
Much.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
thank you.
Thank you. And hopefully we will watch you very soon in Istanbul in a concert.
Thank you. Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, I'm very excited
You're working
about
on
that.
it, I guess, these days.
Yes, I mean, I've met this wonderful singer. Her name is Yaprak Sayar. And we are working on a project that I sing with Yaprak and other also singers. And the musician, the orchestra, is from the Middle East, you know, from Turkey, from Syria, from Iraq, from Azerbaijan, from Iran. You know, we will do something to, like a message, like music is bringing everyone together.
Yes,
It's
yeah,
like the
that's
way
message
to.
we need to hear
Yes,
that. Yeah.
exactly.
Thank you.
So
Yeah,
I'm
wonderful.
excited about
I
that.
look forward to it.
Yeah, thank you so
Çok
much.
teşekkür ederim.
Teşekkür ederim.
Evet, Saat Farkı'nda bu hafta dünyaca ünlü Suriyeli opera sanatçısını, Suriye'nin ilk aslında opera sanatçısını Lubana Al Quntar'ı ağırladık. Müzik dolu yolculuğunu konuştuk, ülkesindeki durumu, sanatını, hikayesini konuştuk. Önümüzdeki hafta yine farklı bir konuyla, farklı bir konukla görüşmek dileğiyle. Hoşça kalın, müzikle kalın.